What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony, aka also known as Descendant of Chaos and Controversy, and here I am this morning. You know, it is no coincidence when I've had discussions or I've pointed out things in the past, and it falls on deaf ears, and there's certain things that I've said when I talk about the condition of this country in its current state, and how I said that there are other people who are waiting for America's infrastructure to be weakened and collapse so that people could come in and take over. Now, as I said, my routine is I get up, I eat, I look on YouTube, and I try to see what stories are trending, so I could look over the details, see what my take is on it, and evaluate, go back and do some research, look things up. So when I come to you presenting this topic of discussion, I have some information to share along with my perspective on, the issue being discussed. It is of no surprise, and it's nothing that people can say, hey, you know what? Trump is right now currently under such criticism because of the cyber attacks that has been going on for some time. They said over a course of 9 months now. And this dude named Mike Pompeo, he has come out and said that Russia was involved with the cyber attacks and 6 departments was infiltrated. Okay. See, this is where I have a problem, and looking at, I've said this before. I follow this guy named Philip Scott, and he is pro-black as pro-black can be. I can listen to him more so than I can listen to Roland Martin, because Roland Martin, he just be on that bandwagon jumping situation, and he may have a lot of acute information about black history, but he really doesn't talk. He's not really forthcoming and real truthful about it. It's like he tries to set up the stage to, I don't know, create a narrative to paint the Democratic Party in such a way when other people know better. Okay? Philip Scott, on the other hand, this brother here, he just tells it how it is. No apologies. Very unapologetic. And whether you like it or not, it's hard truths that may come off a little strong. But when there is truth and you can't say anything to interject and dispute it, and you could be mad and your feelings all you want, but you can't be mad at the attitude of America towards blacks. You can't be mad at what they have done and what we have been subjected to, that this country has done towards blacks. And you cannot say anything about us being unpatriotic when all we have done was fought for a country who has not fought for us, but has instead fought against us, terrorized us, killed us. But we love this country so much that despite all of that, we still stand for this country. Yet, we are held and suppressed at a certain level. And other people, as Philip Scott has stated, could come in as foreigners, infiltrate the governments, do espionage, but that's okay, because it is what we have allowed. But yet, they steady focused on what's going on in the black community. What are the black people doing? We ain't doing shit but minding our own goddamn business. Something that they need to be doing. Minding their own goddamn business. Leave us the fuck alone. Because when you don't leave us alone, what ends up happening? Mass incarceration, deadly shootings, unwarranted beatings, killing us with poisons and stuff like that. I mean, you hate us that much. Why did you bring us here? And then why did you free us just so you could still attack us? And then when we take notice of it, you get mad because we are aware of what you are doing. You get mad when we point out your bullshit against us. Why? But when asked that question, there's no answer. You can't answer that because you don't like when you're being the one looked at as being the monster, the demon, the oppressor, the bad guy. You don't like that picture painted and the mirror held up against you. But it's no problem for you to turn around and paint a picture towards other people. Just so the focus could come off of you and focus on someone else so that you could continue getting away with what you're getting away with. You don't like that. But when people expose you for what you are, you can't handle it. That's the hardest pill to ever be swallowed. But now you got this situation with this cyber attack from Russia. It's been confirmed that Russia is involved with this. It's been going on for 9 months. But also, going back some years ago, between 2011 and 2015, we had this other issue with Christine Fang, the Fang Fang scandal, right? Where she, was tried for political espionage for the Chinese Ministry of State Security while in the U.S. And it went to show the methods of that the Chinese used in the United States to infiltrate U.S. politics and spread Chinese influence. See, I've noticed this, and I've said this before. People criticize black people for everything that they can do to make us the scapegoat to make their own self-worth more so valuable than us. Which is fine. If that's what you want to do, whatever makes you sleep well. And then people say, oh, people ain't concerned about black people like that. But you are. But you are. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a thing that came out with the FBI that spends a lot of time spying on black Americans. In 2017, it was leaked. The study was leaked for the Counterterrorism Division. And they labeled it the Black Identity Extremism. And the Black Civil Rights Group have filed public records requests to better understand who exactly is the FBI investigating. See, here's the thing. Just because we are activists in regards to getting justice against an unjust system. We've been fighting domestic terrorism since we've been here. But people, how shall I say, condone such terrorist acts against certain groups that they feel that, damn, we got to hold you down in one way or another. We can't allow you to get but so far. And some people are quite disillusioned to say, oh, none of that stuff happens. But then when you can go to certain references that says otherwise, people are tight-lipped. They're like, oh, shit, we was unaware. Yeah, because you chose to be unaware. You chose to ignore. You chose to not acknowledge because you don't care. All you care about is what makes you feel justified in the position that you are in. But again, when you can allow Chinese influences in, when you can allow Russia to fucking sabotage our sensitive information and what goes on here. Whose fault is that? Black people ain't got to do with that stuff. We are not trying to sabotage this country. But you guys allow others to come in and sabotage this country. And then want to sit back and act all surprised about it. It's who you allow in. But when it comes to war times, you have no problem calling upon black people to fight your stupid wars. But we are so unpatriotic, right? We don't fight for this country. No, like I said before, this country doesn't fight for us. We fought in the American Revolution. We fought the Civil War. We fought World War I. We fought in World War II, and many other wars that follow behind all of that, and somewhere in between that timeline of what I stated. And we were the frontliners of a lot of these wars. We were the ones on the front lines, not anybody else. We were the ones who were sacrificed, not anyone else. And surprisingly, we were the ones who were responsible for the outcome of winning a lot of these things. But were we credited? Were we acknowledged? No, we weren't. And it's only until years and years later that we get recognition. Funny how that works, right? Oh, but there's no such thing as controlling the narrative. Yeah, whatever makes you guys look good, but fuck everybody else, right? But people want to say, oh, you black people don't do nothing. Yeah, we don't do nothing because that's what you want others to believe, that we don't do nothing. But when people stop listening to the false narrative and start looking things up for themselves and start understanding and realizing the truth with the evidence and the facts presented before them, oh, then the tune changes then. Then you ain't got nothing to say. Then y'all quiet. And in the midst of you being quiet, then you get all in your feelings. Then when you get all in your feelings, then you start getting upset because the truth hurts. You don't want to acknowledge the truth. Because then if you have to acknowledge the truth, then you have to admit where the wrongs are. And we know America don't like admitting that they are wrong in anything. They have yet to apologize to black people for all the shit that they have done. They have yet to pay black Americans reparations for all they shit they done during slavery, after slavery, the experiments, the bombing of Black Wall Street, the terrorist attacks by these little groups and shit, whatever, the police, and the government. Now, people say, and at this point, we just got to a point where we're not asking for anything except just to leave us the fuck alone. That is not so much to ask for. But you know, they are so invested in and so with the attention of just what are they doing? Are they achieving anything? Are they advancing? What are they doing? Damn. No. Because we are a fetish. And you know how people are about their fetishes. Now, people may have a distaste for what I'm saying. And that's all good and dandy. It's fine. You can say, you know what, Tony? I don't like what you're saying. You don't have to like what I'm saying. And as a matter of fact, you shouldn't like what I'm having to say. As a matter of fact, you should be pissed off at what I'm saying. You should be utterly disgusted at what I'm saying. Because people like to sugarcoat shit. I'm not here to sugarcoat a goddamn thing. I'm here to tell you the truth about things, whether you like it or not. I don't like having to know what's going on. I don't like having to know how people are being affected. I don't like having to know that people have gotten away with so much shit all this time and is focused on the wrong thing. And when they are focused on the wrong thing, they allow other shit to occur. And then they have to go do damage control because of their negligence of where they misplaced their attention at. But they're so focused on trying to destroy a certain group of people that other groups of people are coming in to destroy them. Things come full circle. So while America's steady trying to fuck up the black community, you got Russia and China coming in right behind, fucking up America. How you like those apples? Now, let me tell you this much now. The China and Russia today ain't nothing like the China and Russia of back in the day. Because we got little old America and we got other influences. So like I said before, while America is so concerned and distracted and busy trying to mess with those within its own construct, you know, and going back to what I said, okay, so here's another point that Philip Scott pointed out. And I said this too. When I lived in Houston, for the 5 years that I did when my sister had me come from Connecticut to live with her down there. And we're driving around Houston, and we got to a certain area where it was just China. And you had the street signs that changed, and it was written in Chinese and stuff like that. You had the markets and stuff like that. And even their own police were Chinese. So they're able to manage their own area. You understand what I'm saying? They are unbothered. They are untouched. They are left alone. Here in America. Why is that? Why is it that they are allowed to be here untouched, unbothered, and left alone to do what they will amongst themselves? But when it comes to black Americans, oh no. We got to have the microscope under us. We got to have people to control what we do. We can't be left alone. And same goes for, like I said, when it comes to the casinos in Connecticut. And I'm specifically saying this in a particular demographic because it's what I've known, it's what I grew up around. So when they created Foxwoods and they created Mohegan Sun, you had the Mashantucket Pequot Indians, whatever, that got the recognition, that got to live on these lavish reservations, not like the ones that you see in other areas and other demographics where it's all run down and stuff like that, where the Indians are in poverty, there's a lot of suicide rates, a lot of alcoholism and a lot of drug addiction and stuff like that. And then you're taking another example where there are other Indian reservations or resorts that they don't want any government involvement in. And they get plenty of revenue through tourist attractions and stuff like that. But I'm just throwing, and then there's other Indians that are looking to be recognized. So there's like 4 different areas in regards to the Native Americans or whoever, because people want to get all technical and stuff. I'm just trying to put it in layman's terms so it could be understood, because all that technicality shit, nah, just if it's understood, you understand it, okay? So, but going back to the specific example of Mohegan Sun, the Foxwoods, and the Mashantucket Pequot Indians, right? And that community, they got their own tribal police. If anybody from that reservation gets stopped by like the state cops or the local cops in Connecticut, they have to call the tribal police. And then the tribal police have to come and take over and, you know, deal with them through the tribal courts and stuff, which 9 times out of 10, they're not penalized for anything, especially if you have like marijuana or some shit like that. They don't follow the same laws that or the policies that are outside of the reservation or the construct of that, you know, society. That's where black people need to get to, where there's no outside interference, no outside influence. Just leave us the fuck alone, because you don't mean us any good. All you do is mean us harm. You're not trying to better us. You're not trying to do anything for us but bring us or keep us at a certain stagnant place. And you got those in place in the black community that are helping with that fucking agenda. Now, I know I'm coming off being pro-black, but it's a truth that needs to be told. It's a truth that people need to wake up to. Well, Tony, you're mixed. You're with a white girl. You got biracial children. Okay, but I'm one of those people that, despite all that, I'm not gonna be asleep, just not acknowledge, or just ignore. Because the truth of the matter is, despite who I'm involved with, despite what genetic traits that my kids carry, that doesn't exempt or exclude me from the harsh reality that I have faced in my lifetime. I'm not one of those people that are disconnected from reality. I understand the reality. I understand the magnitude of what I have to deal with, what others have dealt with. I choose not to ignore. I choose to acknowledge. I choose to address. I don't make the excuse of, oh, just because I'm involved with this person or whatever, that I should just do one of these numbers. Or butter my biscuit, selling some kind of propaganda to cater to a particular party. I'm not affiliated with any parties and stuff like that because the politics are corrupted, easily influenced, easily manipulated, and corrupted. And would I like to see a united America? Yes, I would. Is the reality or the truth of the matter is that we'll ever get there? Not when you got other entities or factors that cause division. And some of it has to do with people being conditioned, misled, misguided, lied to, manipulated. And people fall for and like okay, so I'll say this before I go. To those who don't like black people, to those racists, I want you to ask yourself, since you're so focused on hating black people or whoever else, what directly have black people have done to you guys? Except defend themselves against your hatred. See, that same energy that you have, whether you're a neo-Nazi or a KKK or a racist cop or just a cop, one of those cops that got appealed to the other cops that look down on black people. To the other cops that look down on the black community, just so you don't be looked up at the same as they do when they look down upon us and stuff, because you want to be accepted. Let's tell the truth now. So you'll go along with the same messed up rhetoric to abuse black folks. But that same energy that you have when you want to terrorize a group that you feel superior to, where you have that same energy when you have these other foreigners coming in and they're dominating you. Because I rest assure you, if it comes to that, guess who will be fighting by your side to preserve the this country? It'll be black people. Take that for what it's worth.